everybody. I'm happy, very happy as you can tell. That's what up. I hope you guys are doing very well. This is me, Graciela. Welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk to you about a very important issue that's in my heart. That is border crossings in Africa. Stay tuned. I love you guys and listen very well. Kiss you. Yes, so this is a conversation about border crossing. These are my thoughts, my views about border crossings in Africa and why Africans don't like to travel. I have been a traveler for a very long time in Europe and in Africa, and my thoughts are that African crossings are very difficult. No matter how many documents you have, no matter how the documents are in touch, it's still very difficult, and it demands a lot of money, and it's a risk, especially when you are driving. It's a risk to cross African borders. This is why I think Africans don't like to travel. My first time traveling in Africa, that's Nigeria. I went with an old friend of mine. We went by bus, and when we paid for the tickets, they took all our passports, everybody's passports in the car, and the driver said that was the easiest way to cross because we were a lot in the bus. It was a transit bus, a 4x4 transit bus, and everyone couldn't get down and go show their documents, so our passports had to be taken by the driver. And each border we crossed, we went from Ghana to Nigeria, so we crossed Togo, Benin, and other smaller countries on the way to get there. And for everybody in that vehicle, in that bus, to get down and to show their documents, it was going to take time. So the driver had to be the one showing documents. It was very easy, but the thing is, it's also a very dangerous thing for passengers. Imagine something happens, the driver disappears. How will you get your passport back? How will you cross borders? So it was very dangerous. And then the other thing is, yes, and it's very dangerous because if you are a traveler, especially if you've traveled to Europe, and give you your passport to a driver, they'll go through your passport. At immigration, they go through your passport, they see who you are, you travel, and then there is an eye on you afterwards because you have maybe 1, 2, 3, 4 passports. That makes you a very high personnel of a traveler, so it gives an eye from the immigration. They can protect you all along while you are in the car, or they can demand. It depends on how it is. So this way, it's, for me, it's risky and it's easy to travel because the drivers have been on the road for so long. They know police, they know immigration, they know customs, so it's very easy. They can decide to talk to customs, to immigration, not to search your luggages. So this is a very good thing. Me, on this day going to Nigeria, they searched my luggage after checking. At that time I had 2 Ghanaian passports, so they checked my luggage to see what was in before they allowed us to continue. Yes, I was the person they checked. My other friend at the time is a Nigerian, so it was okay for her. They didn't check her luggages, but then they checked my luggages and it was okay. But going in as a driver, you need all your documents right. You need your car documents. They call it a green card. That's the international driving card. You need your international driving license, and everything has to be intact. Whether you like it or not, they want to search your car because you are a driver. Maybe you are exporting something, so they will go through your car a little bit. They will hassle and embezzle you a little bit. You have to pay some amount of money and bribery here and there. If you don't want them to bother you and you want an easy access across, then you have to give them some money. You have to put some money in your passport or one of your documents. You know how to in Africa. Yeah, that is what you have to do. So crossing with a car, if you have money, it's easier because you can give something small for food. That's what they say at the border. You give something small for their food, for their water during the day. So when you have the money, it's easier to cross. Crossing with a first-time passport, it's also difficult, very difficult. As a first-time traveler with a passport in Africa, it's so difficult. They will hassle and bustle you a lot. This is one of the reasons why Africans cannot travel or don't like to travel. One, the spending of money is too difficult, and at the border they will bust your balls, they will disturb you, and it will take time. It will take time. They'll keep draining you. You have to give. Even when you have the ECOWAS card, it's too difficult to cross borders, because I think the ECOWAS card is not fully working across Africa. So you still have to pay something small. Yeah. And as a first-time traveler, it's very difficult. And the amount of money you spend crossing borders, you could go to Europe with it. This is not a joke. This is not a joke at all. You can go to Europe with it. But the only problem is the visa is the problem. The visa is the problem. But the money that you spend across African countries, you can go to Europe and have a very amazing vacation. You can go to Europe and enjoy your life there, because crossing the borders, they have made it so difficult. They have made it so difficult that they will intimidate you. This is the truth. They will intimidate you. That is why everything is about money at the borders, because they will intimidate you, whether you are driving, whether you are a first-time traveler, whether you are going by bus, whether you are going with somebody. Isaac is behind the camera right now, and he just told me that he crossed border to, where is it? Togo, Burkina Faso or Togo? Burkina Faso. He crossed borders to Burkina Faso, and he went with his uncle, and he doesn't have any idea what happened. All he knows is that his uncle took him across the border smoothly, because the uncle has money and connections to pay. You don't even have to show your face at the border, and everything will go smoothly for you. That is African crossing. That is African borders. They will hassle you, bazzle you, ask you stupid questions. They will provoke you. They will annoy you. So it's so hard. Not like when you go with the flight. Crossing African borders with the flight is also another story on its own. I've crossed borders on the flight to Nigeria before, to is it Cote d'Ivoire? I went to Cote d'Ivoire before. Ivory Coast, that's Ivory Coast. I went to Ivory Coast before, and with the car also. With the car at the time, I went with my ex-boyfriend. He also went in and did his thing. I didn't get out of the car. Sometimes they don't even have to see you. All that they want is the money. They don't have to see you. And another thing that I realized is you have to give them money to stamp your passport. You have to give them something to stamp your passport. Sometimes you could have all documents right, but they will keep you at the border for you to give them something. That is how it is in Africa. Traveling in Africa, even in your own vehicle, is dangerous because the roads are very bad. The roads are very bad. You don't know who is who, because everybody, it's like they have sectors. The customs are there, the immigrations are there, there are other police, there are people holding guns. You don't know who is who until they tell you who is who. In their uniforms, if you're not very educated enough to know that this is customs, this is immigration, you will keep paying until you cross the border, and this is money. So people prefer to rather travel by air or rather go to Europe, because traveling from African country to African country should be easy. It should be very easy. Some of these drives are like 4-hour drive, 3-hour drive, 5-hour drive. But why are Africans all over Europe? Why are Africans in other countries traveling all over the world, but they don't want to travel in their own country? This is the reason why. For them to stamp your passport, it is difficult. It is difficult. You have to pay. When I was coming back from Togo, they bust my balls. They bust my balls when I was leaving. I actually arrived at the Togo border in the morning, like 9:30, and I had to wait all day because I didn't have international driving license. And luckily, the DVLA is not far from the border. So it's up to you. Two things: they can tell you have to pay to cross the border, which when you do, the other you see the immigrations, the customs, they communicate with each other. They tell each other stuff. They give your car number. This car is coming. So you keep paying and paying and paying and paying and paying. So the best thing is you just do it. So I slept at the border that night. That morning I arrived at the Togo border, that's the Aflao border, at 9:30, and then I left there the following day around like 10:30, 11ish. And even when I got there, they still told me that I needed the car, international car papers, which I feel like it's not needed, because a car paper is a car paper. Whether you are driving internationally or locally, a car paper is a car paper. Why will you need an international? Does the car transform into a Togolese when you arrive, or into the country you are going to when you arrive? Correct me if I'm wrong, but that is what I feel like. So far as you have your international driving license, you don't need international car license. What if you get there and you decide to switch another car? Are you going to pay for that car also? Are you going to get international car papers for that car also? And the thing is, most of these documents, they last for a year. So the international driving license should be the most important thing, but then they will have to puzzle you, and then so I didn't pay. I went to the DBLA and then I did the international driving license, which was just a few minutes, something. It was just some few minutes, and I had to pay for aller passer in the French. At the Togo side, they said right to pass. That's the aller passer. So you have to pay. So it's like every place you get to, that country has what they want to take. And not only are there immigrations and customs, there are locals on the streets. There are locals who works with immigration, who works with customs. So it depends. If you're a first-time traveler driving and you get to the border, and you don't know where to go, there is a local or there is somebody who is his own immigration in his uniform, his his attire, no government, nothing, just the civilian uniform standing there, who knows everything about crossing, who knows everything about the border, who will take you to an officer that will demand for certain things, and they will also demand after they've helped you. So this is how it is. A lot of things go on at the border. A lot of things go on. About 2-3 years ago, I went to Togo, and returning, I met young girls from Nigeria, from other countries that were crossing. It was so difficult for them. I think they slept at the border because they didn't have certain things to cross the border. So why is the ECOWAS card needed? Because no matter what documents you have, whether they are all intact, there is one custom officer somewhere who will tell you about some language that you have no idea about, some document that you have no idea about. They will bust your balls for it. They will go through your things. So this is why it's so difficult to travel in Africa. This is why it's so hard to travel in Africa, because no matter what, they will bust your balls. No matter what, they will demand for something. So it makes going to Europe very, very easy, even though you have to go through a whole lot of hell to get a visa. But it's worth it because you will feel like you are going into another space. You are going on a higher, different level, and there is much better. There the currency is much higher. So why don't I go there than to go to Africa? While in Africa, there is a union connecting all of us together. There is a paper connecting all of us together. That's what makes us able to travel, to live. But why is it difficult at the border? Is it the customs, the immigration, or is it something personal? When they see you as a human being, they look at your appearance. That is what makes them talk to you how they talk to you. That's what makes them attack you the way they want to attack you. What is it? Why don't you just go in with your ECOWAS card and they will say, okay, you have the right to pass? I've seen market women get to the border and show their ECOWAS card, and they still demand for money before they allow them to pass. Our mothers who travel to Togo to go and buy clothing. I sell clothing, as you all may know. Guys, go and check me out on Instagram. I am Amazing Couture on Instagram. I sell clothing. I should have the right to go to Togo because in Togo they manufacture clothes and it's very, very affordable compared to Ghana. In Togo, things are more cheaper compared to Ghana. In Nigeria, exporting things here are more cheaper comparing to Ghana. Bringing cars into Togo and exporting them to Ghana is more easier because of the customs, the prices. It's the differences between the prices. But then at the border, when you get there, why is it so difficult? Why is it so difficult? Why do they have to search you? Why do they have to bother you? Why do they have to take money even if your documents are correct, even if everything that you've done is all right? Don't they want Africans to travel to African countries, or what it is? Guys, comment below what you think about crossing African borders. This is the little that I know, and I might be wrong, I might be right, but hey, this is Graciela. This is my channel and I can talk about whatever I want to talk about, and this is what I see and this is what I'm talking about. So guys, let's discuss this, let's bring ideas together. If I've forgotten something, kindly comment below and let me know. And yeah, have a lovely day. Welcome back to my channel. Like, comment, subscribe. And this is Graciela Gaia. Thank you for watching my channel. Kiss you. I love you guys.